Alright, welcome to the first video in our Google Forms online class. We're going to talk about in this tutorial how you set up your basic Google form so that you can collect information from different participants. Alright, first of all, we're going to start here on our Google Docs home screen. You will have to log into Google the way you normally do. And we're going to go straight over here to Create, and then we're going to go to Form. This will take us to the basic form creation page. First thing I want to look at though are these three checkboxes up here, because these are three checkboxes that only appear in our Gaston County Schools version of Google Forms. What this is set up to do is to allow you to automatically get the username from people filling out the form. That could be very useful in the future when everybody is up and running on Google. But for right now, it's best to uncheck this box. That way, when they take your form online, they won't be forced to try to log into Google. So we're going to uncheck that and then hit OK to confirm. Now, we're ready to start our form. First thing we're going to do is give it a title. And for our example today, I'm going to call this one Technology Survey. Now, the second box allows you to enter some more information or instructions. So I'm just going to say, please fill out this form and click Submit. You can put anything you want in there, or you can actually leave it blank. Now, to start out with, we have a sample question, and we can just overwrite the sample question and then put our first question in. So our first question in this case is going to be, what is your name? Because as we said before, we're not collecting that data up here, so we want to go ahead and get everybody's name. Now, if you wanted this to be an anonymous survey, you certainly would just start with your first question. So we're going to say, what is your name? And then we can go down here and hit make this a required question. That means that the participant will have to fill out this question before they hit submit. And then when we're done, we'll say done. And now we see our first question. And yes, I did notice that I had a typo there because I wanted to show you these three buttons over here. These allow you to work on questions you've already completed. So for example, I could click this to delete it. Click the little trash can. I could duplicate the question and make a second one just like it, but I don't want that, so I'm going to delete it. And the third button is Edit, and this allows you to edit the questions you've already created. So I'm going to click Edit. I'm going to go back in here and I'll fix Gnome and change it to Name. You'll notice this question is a text question. That means the user will type their answer in. And so now we have our first question. You'll notice there's also sample question number 2 here. So we're going to click Edit, and we're going to use sample question number 2 to make our next question. In this case, though, we don't want it to be text. We want it to be multiple choice, because this question I'm going to ask people, what grade do you teach? Now, in this case, I want them to pick either 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. We're going to assume this is a high school survey. And so all I do is I have these boxes down here for options. And so the first option is going to be 9. The second will be 10. And you notice every time I add one, it goes ahead and it adds another option box. There we go. This one's grayed out, which means that unless I type something in there, this won't appear on the form. And I'm going to leave this one unchecked because it's not required. And then I'm going to click Done, and now you see they'll have their 4 options and little radio buttons that they can click to select it. Now we want to add a third question, but you notice we're out of sample questions. So this is where we go up here and we click Add Item. And it's going to ask us what type of item. And this is a good place to look and see the other options for question types. We've done text and multiple choice, but you also have paragraph text, which is basically just a bigger text box that they can type some more in other than just a 1 or 2 word answer. You also have checkboxes, which we're going to choose in a moment. You can pick from a list. It's like multiple choice, except it's a little drop-down list, like the one we're on right now, in fact. And scale and grid are more advanced ones. We're going to look at checkbox for right now. And checkbox allows you to choose multiple answers from several different options. And in this case, that's going to work well for our question, because our question is, what technology do you use in your classroom? Now we want to give them the option to click more than one thing here. That's why we're going with checkboxes. So the first option could be a smartboard. The second could be a desktop computer. Third could be a laptop. Fourth could be an iPad. But they may have other things they use that they want to add that you can't think of or that you don't want to put on the list. So this is where we're going to go over here and say add other, and that gives them an option for other that they can click and then type their own answer in. So we've got that one done. Click OK, and now you'll notice they'll have their checkboxes and they can select multiple checkboxes. So we've got our form questions in, but let's say we want to make it look a little nicer. So we're going to go up here and we're going to click theme. And Google provides a number of different themes that we can choose to pretty up our survey a little bit. There are multiple pages so you can scroll through. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I want to pick something kind of technology looking. So let's go back to our first page and we'll pick this one. That looks kind of technology. It's got ones and zeros. And you'll notice it gives you a preview that this is what your form will look like. If I like that, I can click apply. If I don't like that, I can go back and choose another one. Let's say I'm going to go with something a little more simple like this one. Once you've decided what you want your form to look like, you simply click apply and it will apply that form. Now you'll notice it still looks like the plain basic form entry here, and that's okay for now because you can see the theme Books Classic has been applied. Now there are a couple other options, but the main one I want to look at right now is the confirmation message, and that's what people will see after they click submit. So that's over here under more actions, and it's called edit confirmation. And what they'll see here is, this is what the submitter will see once they've filled out the survey and they've clicked submit. And so you can leave this the default, which is your response has been recorded, or you can add something personal, such as, I'm just going to say thank you for taking the survey. We will discuss the results at the next staff meeting. And so they'll see that every time someone fills out the survey. And then I'm going to click Save. And so now we're done. This form is ready to go. And in the next tutorial, I'll show you how we're going to send that form out.